Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Bricks King podcast, where I'm going to make your ear about Lego, review those amazing bricks of plastic, and discuss what is new and up-and-coming in the Lego world. I'm your Minifigure host, Matt. Let's build on it. How are we doing today? Yeah, episode 176, hitting you between those the ears? Yes, the ears right in the brain pan. Busy stuff going on. Lots of new stuff to talk about coming your way very soon. Teaser, 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 right? With that said, today we're talking about something that is hot and popping and going to be coming straight to your Lego retail store. Or if you have a Lego branded store, or you buy stuff online through lego.com, or shop at home, whatever. Always good stuff. And today I have been waiting with my bloodied fingers to talk about this lovely set that I was given an opportunity to discuss. There's been a lot of rumor about this in the, on the internet. Is this coming? This is something. Well, I can confirm it is absolutely something, and it is absolutely something price-wise. You're going to be like, wow. And what it has to offer, you might even say, wow, as well. Let's talk about it. What I'm referring to the Lego Art World map. Yes, it's true. Everything you have heard has come down to this. Lego has created a world map. 31203 is its set number. June 1st is really when it becomes available for everybody. It's not like Europe, other parts of the world, and then the Americas. No. June 1st, everybody get it done. It's a $250 set. And here's the thing. Before you go off and you're like, Lego art, 1x1 round tiles, 1x1 round plates. No. 11,695 pieces. Let that sink in. Almost 12,000 pieces. This makes it the largest set Lego has ever created. And I know the naysayers are out there going to be like, it's just a bunch of those. You don't know what you're getting here. And I will tell you what you're getting. But more importantly, here's what people around the world need to know. This thing is almost 26 inches high. It's 41 inches long. It's huge. I have mine hung on my wall right now. Like, I can see it out of my peripheral. This was something that was definitely going in my studio for a number of things. And if you know anything about Lego art, there's usually soundtracks, right? And there is a soundtrack with this. But before we get to that, it is going to retail for 250 euros. It is going to retail for 230 British pounds and 400 Australian dollars, 350 Canadian. Globally, this thing comes out August 1st. So you could pick it up at Amazon. You could probably find it at your big box stores here in the United States. Target really carries a lot of the art stuff, which seems odd to me that they would carry that kind of stuff because most adults don't walk down the toy aisle. They usually aren't looking, especially the Lego aisle for the most part. I remember when my son was younger, and it was kind of like in my dark days before he really got into it. And I'd walk down and I'm like, wow, I felt like a creep. I felt like I was doing something wrong. Me, an adult, walking down a toy aisle. Nonetheless, the Lego aisle, I'm like, wait, am I supposed to be doing this? Is somebody on camera being like, get him! Get that adult over there! He doesn't belong! That's how I felt. Not anymore. Now I'm like, oh, you need help? Oh, yeah, that's a good set right there. Oh, yeah, you should totally buy that one. Their price is a little high. Wait 2 weeks. That's going to go on sale. Oh, yeah, that is perfect for that age. Oh, my goodness. That's what I do. Now I am the creep. Now I'm walking up to people and be like, I saw you looking at that. You definitely should buy that. You're going to like that. Anyway, let's talk about the set itself. This thing is massive, guys. It is massive. And when I say massive, I mean massive in all capital letters. The build on this thing took me just under 19 hours. It took me like 18 hours and 40 something minutes. And we're talking multiple days. And I had talked to April B about this after the fact. And I was like, oh my God, April. Oh my God, Dan from Between the Bricks. Bricks O'Brien, that you know from his own fame and then Beyond the Brick. I was like, oh my God, guys, you won't believe how long this took. There are 40 of the base plates that they use for the art sets that you Technic pin together. 40 of them! 40 of them! You do it 10. Well, so you do one by one by one, right? But then the section has 10, and then the middle section has 20, and then the next section off to the other side has 10, and then you pin them all together. Now, what is really cool? I've only ever looked at the world map in one specific way. I've looked at it as North America, Central America, South America are on the left, Europe, Africa are on the middle, Asia, Australia, and then obviously Antarctica goes across the bottom. That is the only way I've ever looked at the world map, even from a young kid. And LEGO gives you two other ways of doing this, where you don't just have the quote-unquote traditional map, you also have two other ways, where you could have North America centered, or you could have Asia centered. I couldn't do it. I looked at him like, I should. It hurt my brain so much. I'm like, I don't even know where I am right now. I can't even do this. And I didn't. I chose not to. I chose to go with the standard traditional where North America, in this case, is off to the left-hand side. You know, it's just hanging out, right? So I like what that is. I like that map. I don't like the weird newness that is whatever it might be. Anyway, the soundtrack that comes with this is actually quite lengthy, but it has a number of different things as far as travel stories. So there are 5 different people. Well, there's 5 different sections of people that are in this. I'm going to butcher this first name, and I apologize. And probably the second name as well. Sayazwani Baumgartner from the Travel Muse family blog, who shares her experience of visiting one of the most remote villages in the world. That is in there. Torbjorn Peterson, who was the first person in history to visit every country in one unbroken journey without flying. Do you even stop and think what that even means? Taking boats across those giant blue masses is insanity. Dane and Stacy, they're a New Zealand couple. Right up Dan's way, you know. And they run a travel YouTube channel called Danger. Not Danger. I said it earlier and I was like, I still keep saying Danger. Danger and Stacy, who speak about their trip to the Cook Islands. If you know anything about the Cook Islands, it's actually pretty cool. Ernest White II, who's an American travel TV producer and host, and Fiorella Groves, a LEGO designer, and a travel lover. Those are what you're getting with this podcast, this audio soundtrack that comes along with the building. Now, I did not have an opportunity to listen to the entire thing. I was doing other things and I had kind of skipped through it just to listen to it. It is good. And I will say this. It took me almost 19 hours to build this. If you are a adult fan or you're looking for something to just kind of unwind and follow instructions and not have to be creative and just relax and enjoy your time and listen to some stories. I'm a podcast consumer as well as a podcast creator. So for me, listening to that kind of stuff as I create or as I'm following instructions, I'm good. I'm good with that. So you have that opportunity to just sit back, unwind. You could turn this into a multiple week project. Maybe you want to do one piece a day. You know, you want to take 30, 40 minutes and just chill, have a glass of wine, and you just want to sit back and relax. This is something that you can do, and it's going to take you a long time. Now, the cool thing about this is some of the other art sets have the 1x1 round plates. If you know anything about those, anything with the LEGO logo embossed on the top of the studs murders your fingers. It just does. Now imagine putting over 11,000 pieces on something. That's going to take a toll. I'm pretty sure my fingertips will recover in about 3 weeks. Maybe mid-June, we should be okay. No, it's not that bad because they're tiles. They are tiles. The continents are white, and there's a reason for that. And the reason for this is that if you're a travel person, you're like, you know what? I have traveled here and here. Me, I have places in the Far East that I've been, all over the United States. I can go ping, 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 ping. And what they do is they give you these little cone pieces, the 1x1. They're not a brick. They're the cone piece, and they're in white. And what you can do is you can take that and stick it on top of the plate that is already there, the white plate that is already there. And you can put whatever color you want on it. You could take some of your Lego dots like I did, the 1x1 tiles, and stick on there just to make it a little more interesting. The emoji faces, the hearts, all the glitter tiles, all that kind of stuff you can do. And I dotted up my map. And it's a lot of fun. I'm not a big travel person. I've traveled a lot in my past life, not so much now. But I've got stuff in South America and Central America and, North America, like I said, the Far East and Middle East, stuff like that. I've got all of that. I don't have Western Europe, unfortunately. One day, sad face. However, it is really neat because if you've been somewhere, what if you're a biologist and you're like, you know what? I had to go to Antarctica for 6 months and it was miserable. Boop, done. People are going to come over to your house and be like, you were in Antarctica? I'm sure was. Got the badge to prove it. It's kind of cool. And for me, I really debated here. I was like, okay, I'm not like a second grade teacher or an eighth grade teacher or something like that. But if you know somebody like that in your life, $250 is really not that bad. If you think of like a holiday or something, dude, yes. All right. So before I get any further into this thing, because my love affair for this thing is huge, let's take a break and I will be back here momentarily. All right. Let's jump back into this because it's too good to keep you guys away. The way this was created was magnificent. Yes, you're following just the instructions and stuff like that. You're pinning everything together. But there are 10 different colors that are used in here. There's a multitude of different blues. There's the coral color that's in here, the fire orange, regular orange. You have some lime greens. You have the teal that's in here. You have the light baby blue. Oh, it's such a sweet color. There's a bunch of different colors that are used in here. And here's the other thing. Lego has decided, you know what? We're going to give you all you want and more if you follow the basic instructions of this. After you put on all the bricks around the outside to make the frame, and you put the hanger pieces, there's 2, by the way. You put the hanger pieces on the back. You put the plates on the back to help solid fixture of this thing, because when it finally goes together and you kind of have to flip it over, it still has flex to it. Even when all the plates are attached and all the bricks are attached and all the tiles are attached, it still has flex to it, and it is scary hanging it on the wall to make sure you have the exact dimensions right where it's supposed to go. It's different than a picture. I tried to explain to my wife. I said, you know what? Here's the issue. A picture frame doesn't bend. It's made of wood. It's made of metal. This is made of plastic. Many, many, many pieces of plastic. 40 giant pieces of plastic and oodles of tiny pieces of plastic. And it has flex, which is good. But what I noticed when I was hanging it, some of the, I think they're 2x8 plates that are on the back to help kind of give some rigidity to the individual sections. Even though they're pinned in, it still created some issue. And I was like, oh my God. I kept popping off these 2 plates over and over and over. I'm not kidding. When I said it took me 10 solid minutes to hang it, it took me 10 solid minutes to hang it. That was after the math of what is my distance in between? How far up do I want it on this wall? How, in equaling all that distance out, all of that had to come into play. And that's what you want. I'm a perfectionist in that way. If it's off by half an inch, I'm going to notice. So it has to be down to the tiniest fraction or millimeter for those of you that are in the metric units. But one of the other things I found fascinating with this, and I noticed it more so when I stepped back to the other side of the room. And when you go through and you're building these sections, you really don't understand what you're building. You're just following numbers. You're like 10, 6, 6, 4, 4, 3, 5, 7, 9, 2. 1, because 1 is the land masses. What you don't understand is what you're really creating until you get it all together. And then it becomes this giant, beautiful brick built painting at this point. You're like, wow. Because when you're up close, you don't see it. Here's what I did. I tried to explain this to my wife in the process of building this. And I told her what it is like is if you've ever seen one of those 3D art pieces where you're supposed to, you can't see the image, right? It's blurred. And what you're supposed to do is kind of blur your eyes. You're supposed to be unfocused or look out of your peripheral or something like that, or you can see it, right? That's essentially what this became. Because as you get close to it, you don't really see it. You see it for the individual tiles that are on there. But when you take a few steps back, a few steps more, then you really see it for what it is. And when I say that, here's what I mean. You have all of the land masses around the world. Mind you, the super duper tiny islands for the most part are not there. But like Madagascar is one stud. If that gives you one stud, one by one round plate with the stud on top, right? That should give you a reference. Florida is only a few studs. If you know anything about the U.S., the Bahamas, that part, only a few studs. Central America is only a few studs. So you have to put that into your brain as you go through this because, islands like, I think, Sicily, they're not going to be there. But things like Africa looks gorgeous. North America, gorgeous. All of the main continents look like what they're supposed to. Asia, Asia's just a big giant thing anyway on a map. But you see India, Japan looks nice. Like Singapore, Malaysia, all of those little more island, South Pacific island nations are a few studs here, a few studs there. Heck, New Zealand isn't more than 5 or 6. So you have to keep that in mind. But when you step back, you see all of it. Hawaii is only 3. They have 3. But when you step back, and I was curious to know why the orange, why the flame yellow, flame orange color, why the coral. What are these colors used for? And then you realize they are meant to be underwater mountains, the underwater shelves. And you have a massive one between North America, South America, and Africa. You have one to the west of South America. You have some that's around Antarctica. You have the one that is below India, down in the Indian Ocean, and west of Australia. And then across the top part of the map, you have it above, North America and Europe and, Asia, far north Asia, like Russia, Siberia, that kind of stuff. So you do have that. And it does look really, really cool. It really sucks you in. If you're a geography freak like I am, and I know some of you are going to say, well, you like geography, that is up your alley. It is. It is up my alley. But I will tell you, having this thing, the building of it, if you're looking to unwind and de-stress and chill out, this is going to take you a long time. And if it takes you 4 months, it takes you 4 months. It's not meant to be something that you got to throw together real quick so you can play with it and see the minifigs. This is something to just let yourself go and unwind. You want to watch TV and do it? Watch TV and do it. And I will tell you, I'm not a perfect builder. There were many times my eyes got crossed and my ADD was super severe building this because as somebody that used to teach reading, you read from left to right here in, the western part of the world, left to right, and then your return sweep. Your eyes come back to the left, drop down a line, and you start again. And that's not how I built this. I would start out here, and then a pattern would catch me, and I'd be like doing the teal color. I'd be doing, which is the number 4. I'd be doing like 3 this way, 2 this way, 1 this way, 2 this way. And I would do that. And that's how I started going through it. Some of it. That isn't what took me so long. What took me so long is there are a lot of pieces here. The building of the frame, once you have everything connected, that's easy. It's going through the book, going 2, 3, 7, 8, 8, 8, 4, 1, 8, 7. It's all of those weird numbers that you go through. But what is nice, Lego did this. See if you can hear this. That is a giant cup from the Lego store Pick a Brick wall. One of the big cups. And this thing is probably just under half full with all the excess tiles that are in here. And I thought, dude, I totally screwed something up. No, I did not. But here's what Lego did. Lego decided you can build the map this way, you can build the map this way, you can build the map this way. That is part of it. Not really, but I'm going to go with it. I want to make myself feel better. What it is for is to create whatever you want. If you want to create a different pattern in the oceans, you can do that. If you want to create a checkerboard pattern or you want to create a fishbone type pattern, you can do that. And you have plenty of pieces to be able to do that. They're not all the same. They don't have the same amount of each color. There's a lot of coral that's left. There's a lot of orange that's left. So you can take it and run with it. Maybe you want to do a 5-inch by 5-inch grid and you want it fishbone, or you want it a chevron type pattern or a reverse chevron. You want it something bizarre. You can do that. And I like that you have the ability to do that, because at the end of the day, this is about what do you want to do with it? How do you want to be creative? How do you want to enjoy your time? How do you want to experience Lego as an adult? Kids can do this. I don't see most kids doing this because they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so bored. I can't do this anymore. But it's a lot of fun. And as a whole, $250. Yeah. When I knew the piece count, when I got this thing in the mail and I was like, holy God, I was expecting this thing to be 500. So double what it currently is. I was easily expecting this to be 500 USD because of how big it was. And I know plastic's plastic, and some of you are going to say, well, they're smaller pieces. You're right, but there are long bricks that are used around the frame. Those giant, 40 of them, remember, the base plates, 40 of them. 40. That is a ton of plastic. So to be able to get this thing for $250, I think is a steal. If you want something that you can hang on your office wall, you want to hang something in your home, you want to hang something in your bedroom, you want to hang something, I don't know, outside for the neighbors to look at, you want to, wherever else, you want to put it in the car with you in the back seat and be like, you ready to go? Come on, Mappy. You could do that. Whatever you intend to do with this, you could do. And then the ability to create whatever you want on it, you can. And I will tell you, there is another person that is building this right now as I speak. And that person is intending to do it as just a white with a black background as of right now. Now, what is really cool is they use the dark blue around the edges, the right side of all of the white. So it is meant to kind of give shadow, a little bit of depth to it, which is perfect. And I like the way that is done. So if you choose to just do white and then the blue tiles and then just leave it as black, you're going to get a different look. And it felt way different seeing what he had done versus what I had done, which is fine. But for me, I'm like, I want the whole experience. I want the map. I want to be able to hang the map and make it look like a map. I don't want to do all these fancy designs. It's just not the way I work. So with that said, I will tell you this. For the price, I think you're winning hardcore. Hardcore, you are winning. The fact that this thing is what it is, which is basically a piece for adults to unwind, I think you're going to be pleased with it. If this is something you intend to pick up, or once you finally pick it up, you're like, you know what? I really like it. I wasn't thinking about it, but I really like it. I'm not big into the art pieces. The Harry Potter one was nice. Definitely didn't suck me in completely. Mickey Mouse didn't suck me in completely. You know, some of the other ones, the Star Wars ones, the Marilyn Monroe, those didn't work for me. This works for me because I'm a geography freak. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a blast building this thing. I had a blast talking about it because it is something unusual. And here's the thing. It is the largest set ever. Like I've already said, but holy moly, that is impressive as far as piece count goes. With that said, I am out of here. I will talk to you guys here shortly because there are new things coming your way that we have to discuss because you need to know. Whether or not you know, you need to know. So with that said, I'm your minifig host, Matt. Let's bet on it.